Welcome back to the Commanders Declassified podcast. Your 5-5 Washington Commanders are going to take on, Eric, who are we taking on?
The Houston Texans, not the Oilers, the Texans. Most of our listeners don't even remember the Oilers at this point, do they? That's how old I am.
The Texans are 1-7-1. They are led by Lovie Smith, and they are not having a good season. We do want to shout out our boy Brian. Brian is not here, a.k.a. Mr. Who. We believe that he is somewhere in the Middle East getting a special chiropractic treatment that you can only get in Dubai. I did not ask questions when he told us because I am not allowed to ask those questions, but shout out to him. Eric, let's go ahead and pay the bills. So I will turn it over to you to do our read. Do you want background music, sir?
Give me some background music. I have nowhere to go but up from last week. So we're going to retry this.
I'm going to pull up our background
music.
Let's roll. Here, you ready? And the music's going to start now.
All right. NFL Sundays are only getting better. And for the incredible offers at DraftKings Sportsbook, official sports partner of the NFL. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 on any NFL team to win and get $200 in free bets if they do. Check this out. Right now, everyone can earn up to 100% boost with DraftKings stepped up same game parlays. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, place a same game parlay, combine multiple bets like which team will win, player props, point totals, how many bad penalties Philly fans will whine about, all kinds of prop bets available to you. Get out there, make those bets, and win big. With payouts bigger than ever, DraftKings Sportsbook is the go-to when betting on the NFL. Download DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code CDP11 and place a $5 pregame moneyline bet to get $200 in free bets if your team wins. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, with code CDP11. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details, and those bills are paid.
Eric, that is about the smoothest I have ever heard that done. Shout out to you. I think the music helps you. It's kind of like freestyling on a mic or something, right?
Yeah, I'm channeling Buster Rhymes when I'm not doing it very well, but it helps me read. I like music. Music makes me happy.
Buster Rhymes.
Yeah, Buster.
All right, so check it out. Our 5-5 Commanders take on the 1-7-1 Texans. Eric, initial thoughts on this game? I would say the Commanders need to get this one and should get this one. Do you agree?
Yes, but it's a complete trap game. We are right in the position where Philly was in prior to Monday night. We need to make sure that we're not feeling ourselves too much because this is an NFL team and any given Sunday and all that good stuff. But yes, this team should lose. The Commanders should beat Houston. Houston is not a very good team, but they do have some talent. So, I feel a little bit wonkier about this game than maybe I did about even going to Philly. I had a really good feeling about Philly. This game, I'm not feeling anything on. This is the kind of game that the same old Redskins trope, would lose. So we need to just, might mark the first time we've ever been this close, this above 500 at this point in the season under Ron Rivera. Let's make sure we get there. But this is not a gimme by any stretch of the imagination.
Look, I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is an absolute gimme. Oh. The Texans have no interest in winning. They want to win the draft lottery, and they want to get themselves a quarterback. Speaking of their quarterbacks, they are led by Davis Mills. If you know Brian, he loves Davis Mills. He thinks he's a solution. The statistics in the Houston Texans will tell you different. Davis Mills has a 62.4% completion percentage. He's a third-round pick, I think, or later. Has 1,975 yards on the season. He has 11 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, and 23 sacks on the year. Now, in his defense, the Houston Texans do not have a lot of talent, especially on the offensive line. They are a struggling franchise with eyes on the future. Does anything about Davis Mills give you concern this week, Eric?
Now, Davis Mills is one of those guys that, I wish he kind of got the shaft in college. COVID really got to him. He was supposed to have a real breakout season in 2020. It just obviously didn't happen because of COVID. He has a lot of talent, but he just doesn't have, the experience of, playing big games in college. He doesn't have that now. He'd only started like less than 10 games total in college because of that. So he might be one of those could have been, but he's not a super scary quarterback. He can make throws. He has the ability to make all of the throws. He's a smart guy, Stanford guy, can read defenses. The processing speed I don't think is quite there with him. Dissecting the defense, I think Houston's going to try to simplify things as much as possible, give him easy throws to make, but he does have the ability to take what's there. And he does have a big time arm, and he can make throws. I just don't think he's ready to dominate the NFL like maybe Brian does.
He's also not much of a running threat, as you can
No.
see. He has 12 attempts on the year, averages 2.3 yards a carry. So not in only 3 yards
Those
a
Matty
game.
Ice wheels. Yeah.
Yes, he does
Yeah.
with the cement Air Jordans. But
Yep.
their running threat is Dameon Pierce, the rookie running back, 772 yards on the year. He has 3 touchdowns. The issue with Pierce is that he has 3 fumbles. This guy turns the ball over. And we just talked about this earlier about Derek Forrest and his ability to create turnovers. Look, there's going to be some plays to be made here. I will tell you, Jamin Davis is going to get one of them this week, guaranteed. But Dameon Pierce is a very effective runner when he's not putting the ball on the ground. They also have Rex Burkhead. You know him from his travels and all over the place. And this guy's been in the league for a long time.
Yeah, he's 100 years old.
Yeah, he's averaging 9 yards a game. So let's not overstate what he does on the ground. Really, Pierce is their running offense. And if you can stop him, which is not easy to do, just ask the Eagles. I think if you can stop Pierce, you're winning the game. Put it that way. Because I don't think they really offer much else. If we look at their receiving options, Eric, Brandon Cooks has been around for a long time. He's battled injury issues, but he seems to have found a little bit of a home in Houston. What do you think about the matchup with Cooks and Fuller as well as St. Juice?
Is he playing? Because I know he's got he wanted out. He wanted a trade, and they weren't going to trade him, but then they were. I thought I read something about him maybe getting benched. I don't know. He's fast, good, solid receiver. I'm not super scared of him just because, Houston's offensive line and Davis Mills have a hard time being in sync. And he's got he's got the ability to make plays. I just don't know if his head's right. I don't know what's going on with Brandon Cooks. Not super scared of him. So he'll probably torch us for 180 yards just because I said that. But I'm not super concerned about Houston's passing offense in general.
Yeah, Cooks was had a lot of rumors about him during the trade deadline. I'm going to assume that Lovie Smith would figure out how to put him in. I don't know for sure. But when you have weapons and you're as limited as this offense is, I think they'd be foolish not to. But we'll take a wait and see there. Nico Collins, 40 targets, 354 yards, a touchdown, averages 15.4 yards a reception. He can do some damage. He is their leading receiver in terms of yards per game. I think he is a good receiver, but nothing like what we just faced in Philadelphia. So I have zero concerns with that. Dorsett is an extremely fast receiver. And I could see him giving us a little bit of problems down the field, but not frequently enough to really be of major concern. So nothing on the Eagles wide receiver. Really, the offense really bothers me a whole heck of a lot.
Yeah, they'll get one. They'll get one deep ball because we give up one every game. They'll get one deep shot to somebody.
Exactly. Looking at their defense in terms of their pressure situation, they can generate some sacks. They are not a team that I think is going to give our offensive line fits the way that some other groups have. Their leading sacker is Green. He has 3.5 on the. Actually, they have a guy with 8 sacks. Jerry Hughes. You remember that name from Buffalo, right?
Yep,
Jerry Hughes does get some pressure. 8 sacks is actually not bad whatsoever. He's an effective pass rusher. He is somebody we are going to have to watch out for. We've had issues with pass protection. The good news for us is that the rest of Houston's line isn't really all that concerning. So I think we should be able to scheme up a way to handle that, especially if we commit to running the football. Eric, give us 3 ways to win and 3 ways to lose.
Yeah, there's really one way to win this week. Run the football. I mean, they're the, I believe, number 32 defense against the run in the NFL, and it's not super close. And with our quarterback situation, we should be focused on the run. I think should be another 50 carry type game. We should run the ball a lot against this team because they have not shown that they can stop it at this point. And sprinkle in passes to Terry and the other receivers. If it's a 70-30 split run pass, I think we win the game this weekend. We don't underestimate this team. We win this game. That's a way to lose this game. If we underestimate this team, come in feeling ourselves off a big Monday night win on a short week, that's a recipe for a loss. You should not take anything for granted in the NFL. If we get pressure on Davis Mills, make him extremely uncomfortable, they're going to try to run the ball as much as possible. When they throw it, we got to make sure that Davis Mills has a very, very bad day. And of course, we got to stop that run game. Everything runs through one basically player on the offense. So we need to make sure we shut down that running game. That's like 4 reasons, a couple of wins, couple of losses. I didn't do a lot of homework because it's a short week. We should win this game. They're not a very good defense. We should be able to pummel them. And I really hope we do. My only concern is just the trap game mentality. Everybody's already just going through the Twitters and the internets. People are already penciling this as a win. That's never a good way to go into a week. So I hope we don't do that. I hope we catch ourselves very quickly.
I think it's a dub. I'm one of those people penciling in a dub. I'll put it in ink for you. No, I think
ink.
Look, yeah, I'll put it in ink, man.
Red ink.
Yes.
I don't know why red, but whatever.
Maybe it's blood. I don't know. But look, Houston's going to try. They're going to try to run the ball, and they're going to hit us with play action. And I think that's the only recipe for success that they have. We have been really good against the run this year, with the exception of the Titans game, where Derrick Henry did what Derrick Henry does. But if we get greedy and our eyes get caught in the backfield, I think some play actions could do some damage. They just have to hit enough of them for it to really matter. I think offensively for us, our game plan has to remain consistent. Pound the rock. Keep Taylor Heinicke out of situations where he has to throw the football. He is decent enough in optional situations to throw the football. We do not want him to be in situations when he has to do it, and we don't really want it down the field all that often. Make smart plays. Scott Turner, you have a formula, you have a blueprint. Please stick to that, and I think we can be just fine. Eric, give me your outcome of this game, including your score prediction, please, sir.
I think that Scott Turner will control his Scott Turner just for one more week, at least. I think we will run the ball a lot. And I don't know if we're going to control time of possession like we did last week, because that's really hard to do. But I do think that we will have a commitment to the run this week. I'm going to go ahead and call it a Commanders win, because they should win. And I'm going to go 24-13 Commanders.
24-13
24-13 Commanders.
That's so realistic, actually. I'm gonna
That's what I do.
It is what you do, man. You're spot on. Your defensive touchdown last week. Look, I'm gonna speak for Brian here, because I feel like if Brian were here,
Brian be calling 48-0.
He would be going 48-0. Brian Robinson has about 6 touchdowns, and then he runs in the 2-point conversions to go with it. That's Brian's prediction, 48-0. He just texted it to us. We're not lying. Yes, we are. But my prediction, I think that this should be a blowout, but our offense doesn't really put up points like that, regardless of who we're facing. So I'm going to go back to my average, because we went 32 last time, but we had a defensive touchdown. I'm going to say this is 19-12. Commanders beat the Houston Texans. 19. It's not as pretty as we wanted to. Yeah. That's hard to get to. I know. But
I know. I think we're only averaging 17 a game this year, though.
We are. I'm giving them a lot of credit, but it's the Texans. That's a +2.
They got 26. Put 26 on the board last week, though, or yesterday against the Eagles. So
they did. It's hard to hit on them for that. Eric, any final thoughts on this matchup?
The trap game. I'm terrified of the trap game. This is definitely one. You're coming off a huge win. You've got a short week, and you've got a team that you should pummel. All the ingredients are there for a letdown. Let's not let that happen, fellas. Let's go out there and pound these guys like we should.
Yeah. Vegas says we are a 2.5-point favorite, with a average points of 40 being the expected score. which would be, Eric, correct my math, but that is what, 22 to 18.
22-18.
Yeah, yeah. So that's
Take
what
the
Vegas.
under.
Yeah, take the under. That's right. But my final thoughts here. This is a game that you need to win. I mean, if you really have hopes of getting into the playoffs, you can't drop this game. The teams behind you in that playoff contention line are getting better. Tampa Bay is starting to improve. Green Bay has shown some signs of life last week. You got to keep winning. That's the simple and put. And if you drop a game to the 1-7 Texans, you're going to have a lot of change coming to the team. We both believe once we back the first time that they lose. If he doesn't start this week, which you don't think he will, but just keep the momentum going. Don't lose to teams like this. If you're going to lose to high quality opponents, not 1-7-1 teams led by Lovie Smith, the Houston freaking Texans. Okay. Get that dub. Commanders Nation, we are out of here. We appreciate you listening. Make sure you subscribe. Check out all the DraftKings stuff that Eric told you about in the beginning. Shout out to Eric. Shout out to Brian and everybody who's been riding with us all along. We appreciate you. Check out commanders247.com and have a great day, evening, night, morning, breakfast, dinner, whatever you are. Have fun. Watch football. Get ready for Thanksgiving. We are gone.